Hey guys, Lancer here. Hope everyone's doing well. Thanks again for joining me while we're looking to some more MTG market movers for the day. Starting off with Unbreakable Formations from Secret Lairs. Now this card is sitting around about $2, peaked around about $3 just today. But I think it's probably one of the cheaper rated cards from the Secret Lair series because you can find out that the average price of these cards is around about $1 to $1.56, which means that if this card is going to come out, then it has to at least be a few times more, depending on how many of these actually sold, just because that's how it works with supply and demand. I feel like if there's not many of these, then they should be quite a bit higher, similar to some other Secret Lairs that for like a 25 cents card could be worth like $10. This is actually a well-played card in a lot of Commander decks. Next, Orcish Mechanics from Antiquities. Mechanic. There's only one of him. And he's doing a good job. I actually like this card. He's not a reserve list card. It's 45 cents, but probably around about $1.40 to $1.50 right now on the market price. Went up quite a bit in the last couple of days. Pretty spiky. I assume there's been some buyouts. It's an old card. I think there's no real demand, or was no real demand, because orcs aren't really a thing. It's not a reserve list card, but I still like it. Quorum Trench Gnomes from Legends. Now, this is another kind of weird card because it doesn't really explain what it does. If target plains is tapped for mana, it produces colorless mana instead of white mana. This effect lasts indefinitely. Now, is this saying that if you use this against a white, specifically just a white deck, you can tap all of these mana to then just make sure that it is just colorless mana? Or is it when this mana gets spent, it then can produce white mana next turn? I'm not too sure. It doesn't say target lands becomes like a colorless mana source. It says it's like an interrupt. Anyways, other than that, it's a reserveless card. It started off at $10, probably around about middle of May, and now it's sitting around about $47. So if you pick this up early, then you're in the money. Next, Standstill from Odyssey. Now, we covered this card in the past. It actually has got quite a bit of a gain in the last couple of weeks, and now it's sitting around about $7.75. I personally think that the media promo should be worth more. It is worth more, but it should be probably worth considerably more. It depends on how many of each are out there, but in my mind, the media promo is one that I've never heard of, but maybe it was given away more freely than the Odyssey numbers, which might be more preserved. Or maybe people didn't preserve the Odyssey ones in good condition, but they might have done for the media promo, so there isn't as much of a difference in the price as you'd expect. Bad Moon from Time Shifted. This is another one of those cards that's popped up in the last couple of days. We can actually see that another Bad Moon popped up. I think it was the 4th edition or one of these in the last couple of days. It's not a bad card, but it is one of those very reprinted cards. It'll probably come up in another couple more sets in the future. The Alpha edition is worth $1,299. So this is one of those true examples of how rare a card is really does make a big difference. The revised edition itself is worth $9. Crazy. Next, Grim Hireling Extended Art from Commander Forgotten Realms. So this is a big card that's dumped. This is obviously the extended version. If you wanted the original, you can spend $3 to get him. He is pretty cool. Yep, he's really good. Yeah, he's really good. And a rogue. Tiefling, rogue. The rogue part is more important, I think. Omen of Fire from Alliance. Once again, massive spike up. Now sitting at almost a 24% gain from what it was just a couple of days ago. I don't remember if I said that this is one that can continue spiking up. I don't know if anyone's doing it from just for the giggles, but it's moving up fast. And if this is the trend for all of the other guest cards that might be on the reserve list in the next couple of days or weeks, then we're in for another leg up. So maybe, hopefully you guys have been either dipping your toes or you dipped your toes about last year sometime to get some of these more sought after reserve list cards, because they might be in for another leg up. But I will let you guys know that something weird has happened in the market if you guys stick around until the end. Strip Mine from Antiquity. So massive gain up again. So this card is moving up every day since May 21. It obviously moved up before that, but now sitting at $92 for the market price. TCG is obviously catching up. The fourth edition is sitting at $15.95. Not bad for the artwork, but it really does depend on what you want from Antiquities, which is the rarity. Michaelot from Plane Chase. So the infinite, right, is this an infinite combo generator? It's not really, but it is very powerful what it does. It's a great commander card. You can see that the cheapest one is $3.70 and the average price is this one's $3.27. So no doubt they're all going to sit around about the $4 mark in the next couple of days, pretty much the way they're going. Zephyrus of the Hidden Way is another commander from Commander Forgotten Realms, moving up again, an extended art piece. It's not a bad commander if you want to play dungeon themed decks, but that's about it. Durga Hedge Mage from Anthologies, again on the list. Now this wasn't on the list for the last couple of days, but it has been on the list in the past, and it's slowly gaining up. You can see that the average price for this is now $1.81, $1.57 for this one, but I doubt you can get it for that. The market price says about $2.39. I think it's a good card. You're going to maybe want to pick up one or two, but then again, if you already have this card, then maybe it's a good time to start selling it. Coral Helm from Antiquities, another Antiquities card, sat at around about $5.46, now sitting at $14.57, not on the reserve list. There is a 4th and 5th edition 40 cents print. I actually think this is a dangerous one. I'd be careful. Bottle of Solomon, Arabian Nights. So this is another big spike up from what was pretty much a flat line for most time. $23 card, and then now sitting at $108. So yeah, it's not a reserve list card. This is probably another risky one. I feel like if you can get it in a revised edition for 97 cents. The Arabian Nights does have black border. None of these others have black border, so it actually does stand out pretty cool for that. I just feel like 9 years ago this card was $2.81. Now it hit a peak of $599. Obviously I don't trust that $599, but even $124, I think that's more of a gain than Tesla. Well, not Tesla, because Tesla didn't exist back then, but certainly there was quite a few assets that did more poorly than Bottle of Solomon. Now moving on to Standard. Standard, no big gains. Corvold gaining up by 7%, now sit at $14. Great card. Demi-Leech dropping by 6%, now set at $10.63. Oh, the Great Henge dropping down by 6%, now set at $45. That is one that is on my list, so I'm interested to see how much that can change. Blood Moon gaining by 12% again to now set at $28. A very sought after card. The biggest drops is Liliana Vest. She had a massive gain in the last couple of days, so no surprise she dropped by 9% and now set at $13.49. And Pioneer Sakam the Unbroken gained by 12% today. Great Henge is on here. Liliana Untouched by Death now dropped by 6% to now sit at $10 even. Another prized unicorn from the giveaway decks, pretty much, for playing with family and stuff, gained by 10%. So someone's collecting. And I was going to have a quick look at the meta as well. 13.9% for the Sultai control, 11.1% for the Naya mid-range. Those are not looking good for bans to come probably in sometime in the next couple of maybe not if they're really dependent on decks cards that are about to rotate out, but it just feels like there's some things in here that just feel a bit too powerful, and because of that they might get banned. I can't see anything, but the rotation might just happen anyways, so maybe it'll be okay. Kenrith cannot stick around for too much longer, so that's fine. 2 Kenrith isn't actually that much, but he is a really powerful card. Esika's Chariot, really nice. Yeah, I'm not too sure what's going to happen with this, but 11% and 17% feels like a bit too much control of the meta. So, 14% and 11% feels like a bit too much control of the meta. And ended off with, ended before than end, revised dual lands. So Bayou is moving up to catch up with the average price, almost $600 average. Badlands not doing the same thing. It's actually going backwards, now sitting at market price of $485, but the average is still $500. Now what I want to show you guys was, if making sure people can see this, is to keep an eye on what's happening with the dollar. there's a chance that the dollar could just dump. But with the way that it's looking right now, with the amount of, I guess, support for it, its support now probably sits around about $93. If it comes back, touches 93, and then goes back up, then a lot of things that are valued in the dollar is going to have trouble staying high. And that includes everything you can think of. Like the Australian dollar just decided to jump off a cliff. Now I'm expecting it to touch 70 and get a pretty strong rebound. And I am expecting it to rebound around about 71. 71 would be a really, really strong level of support. And if not, then obviously 70 would be the next strong level of support. But the US dollar is showing a lot of strength, though at this time it is quite volatile. If we go to the 5 minutes, we can see it jumping all over the place. So keep an eye on it, guys. I'm going to keep an eye on it as well. This is just something I wanted to think about in the end. And I'll leave you guys to it. Thanks, and have a good one. See ya.